G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, down in the mangroves as a commenter correctly pointed out, and I'm just avoiding the smell of the mangroves because I'm still wafting on those sweet, sweet vapours of victory. What a Tottenham Hotspur football club, greatest football team the world has ever seen, and Ange Postecoglou masterclass it was last night. Once again, no trouble staying awake. What a game. We beat Bournemouth 2-0. It was a good game. Bournemouth played a great role in it. They came out on the front foot, going at us. But you know what? Our defence, compared to last year, is like night and day. With really just, well, it's not just one major change, is it? It's a few, I suppose. But they were watertight. Van der Ven and Romero at centre back were immaculate. I don't think they made a mistake. Van der Ven, for all this talk at the beginning of before we signed him that he wasn't that good in the air, he won everything in the air, that guy. Oh, hello birdie. The real surprise for me though is Porro at right back. There were question marks. I had question marks. Can he defend? He had a not dodgy, but a standoffish 10 minutes against Man United. But against Bournemouth, he did the business, didn't he? He was impenetrable. I don't think he got skinned once. And on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side at left back, Udogie he's like a ghost. He's like a ghost. He gets the ball and he just wafts past players. He's an incredible sight to see. Vicario wasn't troubled too much last night, but when he was called upon, he did the business, and he was getting a little bit cocky, wasn't he? He was showing those Bournemouth players who's good with the ball. You know, when Hugo was doing that last year, I'd be clenching, but not with Vicario, sure-footed. And if you think of that back line, it's incredibly young, man, and it's playing way beyond its years, way beyond its experience. Then we get to midfield. Midfield, I mean, what do you say about Maddison, Bissouma and Sarr? Incredible. Sarr floating around all over the other place, just tiring out Bournemouth. Bissouma, again, was marked out a little bit at first, but then he started muscling the game, and it was his physicality that really started an end to that period of Bournemouth attack in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Up front we had Son, Kulu and Richarlison. I thought Son was great last night, really great, unselfish with the ball. Maybe there was times he could have got a shot off, but he was playing for his team, man. He was playing for his team as a captain should. And then there was Kulusevski. A lot more effective in this game than he has been in the last two, and of course he scored a wonder goal. Now as for the goals, the two beautiful team goals. We've been so dependent on recent years on just one man, Harry Kane, bailing us out, but now we've got 11 players, or maybe 10. I'll get onto that in a minute. We got 10 we can rely on. The first goal was a real team build-up play, and what a ball by Pape Matasaurus, the Matasaurosaurus, splicing, dissecting the Bournemouth defence with a beautiful ball. And who was on the end of it? James Maddison, perfectly timed scuff to bang it in the back. We're scoring a lot of scuffs this year. I think that's going to be the theme, but I don't care because they all count. It was perfect, just past the keeper. The second goal, a bit more team play, and Kulu just flies in from nowhere, and there you go. That's 2-0. That's the match beyond doubt. Now, what was really pleasing for me this game was the fact that it was a good 90-minute performance. It's been a while since we've seen Tottenham play, two halves and play well. I think the reasons this year it hasn't happened are very different to last year. They're learning a new way of playing this year, and as I suspected, that period of trepidation at the beginning of each match is going to get shorter and shorter. I didn't think it'd be this quick. I think we came out playing really well. It was Bournemouth took the game to us. There's, you know, there's not a lot we could have done better about that, really. We did manage to turn the tide pretty quickly on it, and it was through no fault of our own. We didn't really look flaky or vulnerable. They had maybe one chance. There was a Vicario save, which was perfect, parry off to the touchline. So seeing that 90 minutes of professionalism was fantastic. Different to last year, where, you know, we played one half good or one half bad, depending on how much we had to sit back and just soak it all up and try and break out. As usual, there's a few people walking their yappy little dogs around the place, so I don't want to spoil your enjoyment of the video for that. But last year, so we were soaking up pressure, and we'd kind of come to life when we went 1 or 2-0 down, if that, or we'd go 1-0 up and then go to sleep. But this year is different. We're learning attacking football, and the boys are doing so well. I mean, how do you pick a man of the match out of that? It's difficult, very difficult. And Ange Postecoglou, man, his reading of football with his superior football brain is just second to none. While that clown down the road is playing, he's like playing football bingo. And in goal today, we're going to have it's Odegaard, playing them all out of position. I know their fans aren't happy, and I am laughing at their tears of frustration at the moment. It's about time that the wheels fell off the Arteta mystery bus of no football whatsoever. On the other hand, who have we got? Ange Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou, man, timed the substitutions with perfection. We didn't have to wait for the 70th minute. No, it was the second half. And I'll just touch on Richarlison here, because I don't want to be negative, man. It was such a good performance. And at the end of the day, he was part of a team that won 2-0 fairly comfortably and quite imposingly. But in the first half, I thought he was okay, actually. I thought he was okay. Second half, you know, we all saw what we saw, so there's no need to go into it. But Ange did the right thing. Could see his head dropped. Yanked him off, made some changes. I was a little bit concerned. I shouldn't have been. Why should I? Why could I have possibly doubted Ange? Bringing on Skip and Højbjerg, that's the thing that concerned me a little bit, and Lo Celso. But you know what? Okay, we weren't playing the fancy flicks. I mean, back heels and God knows what, but we kept possession of the ball and progressed it up the pitch. We played perfectly with those three. And Ange said after the game that he did that just to calm things down a bit. Not to go into defensive mode, but just to calm down the players that were getting a little bit jittery. And it worked like an absolute charm. Perisic came on and was fantastic on the left wing. I was a bit nervous there for a second. Maybe we are getting a bit of luck with VAR and referees, as we did a bit last year. Maybe they were mates or something, because in the slow motion of the Perisic incident, all I saw in VAR was Perisic going in slow motion, backwards and forwards. I thought he was a shoo-in for a red card, and it didn't happen. So sometimes you get a bit of luck in these games, don't you? But Ange's reading of the game, he can feel the tempo, he can feel it, and times it so well. Doesn't wait too long, doesn't go too early. That was always a frustration of mine last year, it was always bog standard, 70 minutes, we'll do like for like substitutions. Whereas this year you can see the substitutions, maybe the positions are sort of like for like, but they're offering different sorts of play. I thought Lo Celso was a little bit, you know, quiet, but he was all right. But Højbjerg was great, unlike last week. No clangers. I thought he was fine. Skip did his part as well. You know, picking a man out of the match when you've got something like this, you know, what do you go for? Was it Romero's outrageous back heel out of the penalty box up to Porro? Was it that? I mean, there were so many moments. Udogie spinning on a sixpence and flying up the pitch. There were back heels from Basuma. It was just absolute top shelf football. Children shouldn't be allowed to watch it. It's too good for them, and they get them too excited. It'd be like drinking, you know, 5 pints of red cordial if you make a kid watch football like this. I just can't be happier as a Tottenham fan at the moment. Everyone's taken to it, and I think Udogie and Porro are showing that clown Gary Neville that, yeah, Gary Neville, you might be part of the 95% of fullbacks that can't take a ball on a half turn, but we've got two players that are in the other 5%, something that you could never do because your career relied you on just whacking the ball up the wing to David Beckham all your life, and you haven't got the imagination or the creativity that Ange Postecoglou or Pedro Porro or Destiny Udogie have. So I think that may keep Monsieur Neville a little bit quiet. Now, we've got a couple of days rest. Ange said there's going to be changes before the League Cup game against Fulham. I'm hopeful about that because I'm going for the treble this year. Don't forget, treble is on. Treble is on. We're top of the table, man. We were top of the table for a couple of hours. We're still top of the table on goal difference until results come out tonight. Fulham, it looked like, had a fairly hectic game against Arsenal, so maybe they're going to be a bit more leggy. I don't know if their depth of squad is as good as ours because we can make some changes and still get results, it looks like. And also, don't forget the power of having 2 hours extra rest. We've got 2 hours extra rest because of the early kickoff. That was a concern for many people, including, you know, myself. Hangovers from last year, early kickoffs, away games. We haven't done well in those games. We've only won like a couple of away games since September, or one. We don't do well in early morning kickoffs. But I mean, you can't stay awake when Ange is shouting at you, can you? You're going to wake up, mate. So I'm hopeful about Tuesday or Wednesday morning, whenever the game is, because I think we've got this philosophy, this way of playing is filtering through the entire squad. Everyone has their part to play. Ange is managing them supremely well, and you know, if there's rumours, which I don't buy for a second, about players not getting enough minutes, when you're part of a winning team, if you're just coming off of 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, if you're in a winning team, you ain't going to be too unhappy, man. Unhappy. So Ange is delighting football fans all over England and now all over the world, just like I said he was. I couldn't be prouder to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan. Tottenham Hotspur. We're on the march, man. We're on the march. And it's only going to get better. This is just the start. This is just the start. But Ange was pleased. I was pleased. I see a lot of people out there are super pleased. We've got our Tottenham back. It's a glorious sight. The Ange Postecoglou choo-choo has left the station. You still can jump on board if you're a fan. And it's destination glory. Woo-woo! So until next time, folks, this evening, in a few hours, I'll put up a video with some player ratings, and I'll say who my man of the match. But what a problem, what a problem. It's not like last year where it was Harry Kane, Harry Kane, Harry Kane. This year it could be one of so many people that got man of the match. So I'm just going to let the football game percolate around my head a bit. I might watch bits again just to see if I can get some player ratings. It's absolutely meaningless. Who cares? And in fact, when I do a video sitting at home, because I don't have trees in the background, YouTube doesn't send it out to many people. So it'd just be a select club of us. If you want to find out more, click like and subscribe if you want, then you can find out when I'm doing stuff. But I think we're in for a hell of a season. It's a hell of a season already, man. And as well as man of the match, I'll be doing my Dreamo-meter. Stay tuned to find out what the Dreamo-meter is. Until next time, you lovely people, peace and love, and come on you Spurs.